I'm going to be swapping LeBron James and Steph Curry's NBA careers, meaning that Steph Curry is going to be 18 years old in 2003 and get drafted by the Cavs. Meanwhile, LeBron, he's going to have to wait until 2009 to be drafted by the Golden State Warriors, and he will be 21 years old. So not only are we swapping careers, but also ages when they were drafted. Now, of course, LeBron is not going to leave the Warriors, but Steph is definitely going to leave the Cavs after 7 years. Then he'll go to Miami for 4, back to Cleveland for 4, and then head to LA until the year 2023. And we are going to see who ends up being the better player of the two if we swap their NBA careers. So it is October 28th, 2003, and Steph Curry was just recently drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, 84 overall, 18 years old. Obviously, in real life, he was drafted at 21, so hopefully they can help him out there. Now, in the NBA right now, of course, we have guys like Kobe, Tim Duncan still in their prime. Kevin Garnett is still on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shaq is still on the Lakers. T-Mac on the Magic. AI is on the Sixers. And this is basically just going to be a Curry simulation until we get up to 2009 when LeBron will get drafted. Also, if you guys do enjoy 2K videos just like this, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single upload. So Shaq is going to go ahead and win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to D. Wade. The Sixth Man to Eddie Jones, and the DPOY to Tim Duncan. Steph is not going to make any of the All-NBA teams. Will he make a rookie team? Let's see here. He is going to be on the All-Rookie First Team. He would average 23, 2, and 4 a game, which is not bad at all on 50, 40, 80 splits. But speaking of the Cavs, they're not going to be very good as they missed the playoffs. They would be the 13 seed going 30 and 52. Meanwhile, the Bucks are going to win 58 games in the West. San Antonio and the Lakers are the powerhouses, of course. Shaq is going to lead the NBA in scoring at 32 points per game. AI averaged 31, Vince Carter 29, and KG 27. For assists, Jason Kidd, and it was not even close, 11 assists per game. And the Lakers would go on and win the NBA title. Kobe is your finals MVP, averaging 43 a game as they dominated the Nets in 5 games in the finals. Karl 13 Malone is out of here after 19 years. Charles Oakley is gone. So for the NBA draft, Andre Iguodala is going to go 3rd overall to the Knicks. Dwight Howard fell all the way to 7th overall. He's going to be on the Phoenix Suns. And also for my simulations, I love to show you guys who moved to new teams over the offseason, but very rarely do I ever see star players move. Like, watch here. We got some free agents like Paul Gasol is probably the best, but like they always stay with the teams that they're originally with. They don't leave for some reason. So Steph Curry now is the best player on the Cavs. He's up to an 86 overall, 19 years of age. Obviously had a very good rookie year, averaging 23, 2, and 4. I don't know how he did not win the Rookie of the Year. Tim Duncan is going to go on and win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Dwight Howard, the Sixth Man, and Devin Harris, and the DPOY to Ben Wallace, only averaging 3.9 points per game. But I mean, he's not paid for his offense. He's paid for his defense, as he's going to end up averaging 23, 2, and 3. So slightly worse stats than last season. I mean, the same amount of points, but his rebounds and assists are down. Well, basically just his assists. Of course, he is on the god-awful Cavs team, who again missed the playoffs, this time being the 14 seed, going 16 and 66. That is a terrible record. The Bucks again are the 1 seed in the East. In the West, San Antonio won 70 goddamn games. The Lakers won 57. Phoenix was up there. They were very good after picking up Howard. Kobe's going to lead the NBA in scoring at 33 points per game. AI averaged 30. T-Mac 30 as well. Shaq damn near averaged 30. Averaged 28 a game. Me pronouncing names literally just does not go well together whatsoever. I always butcher names. It's terrible. And the Orlando Magic are going to go on and win the NBA title. T-Mac is your finals MVP, averaging 34 a game. They actually beat the Lakers in 6 games in the finals. Hakeem Olajuwon retired after 21 years, played the last 3, or actually last 4 on the Raptors. CP3 is going to go 1st overall to the Memphis Grizzlies. Steph now is up to a 90 overall, and we didn't pick up anybody in the offseason. Tim Duncan is going to win another MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Chris Paul. The Sixth Man to Luol Deng, and the DPOY also to Tim Duncan. Steph Curry yet again is not going to make any of the All-NBA teams, as he's going to end up averaging 27, 2, and 5, which is much better than the 2 years prior, but still not good enough. The Cavs yet again are going to miss the playoffs as they went 41 and 41, which is a big improvement. I mean, they only won 16 games last year. They're at 500 this year. In the East, the Pistons are going to be the 1 seed, winning 53 games. In the West, San Antonio is dominating. The Lakers are starting to fall off now. Kobe again is going to lead the NBA in scoring at 28 a game. Gilbert Arenas averaged 28, as well as AI AI. Well, it looks like I ate my words there, as the Lakers are going to beat the Magic in 6 games in the final. Shaq was the finals MVP, although I stuttered my words and missed out on the graphic. I believe he averaged like 26 and 12. John Stockton retired after 22 years, 44 years old, which is crazy. Marcus Aldridge is going to go first overall to the Knicks. Brandon Roy to the Trailblazers. Bergnani's gone to the Bulls. Rudy Gay to the Knicks. Rondo has gone to the Magic. Ron Artest is going to sign with the Houston Rockets for 3 years after being on the LA Clippers. Steph Curry now is up to a 93 overall, and again, we didn't really pick up anybody. I believe we picked up Danny Granger. I think we drafted him before last season, so he can definitely help us out in a few years. D Wade is going to go ahead and win his very first MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Brandon Roy. The Stephon Marbury is going to win the 6-man, and the DPOY will go yet again to Tim Duncan. Again, no Steph on any of the All-NBA teams. He's going to end up averaging 25, 5, and 5, which is, I guess, a better season overall. The scoring took a slight step back, as the Cavs are going to make the playoffs as the 8th seed, going 38 and 44, so Steph's very first time in the playoffs. Miami won 63 games. That's nuts. In the West, San Antonio's dominating. Phoenix was good. LA is always dangerous with Shaq and Kobe, of course. AI is going to lead the NBA in scoring, 29 points per game. Kobe was up there at 28. Melo averaged 28. Steph was up there at 25. And obviously we got dominated in the very first round by the Miami Heat. And the Phoenix Suns are going to go on and win the NBA title. Amari Stoudemire is your finals MVP, averaging 24 and 13 a game as they beat the Pacers in Game 7. Kevin Durant is going to go first overall to the New Orleans Hornets. Greg Oden has gone to the Nets. Mike Conley to the Hawks. Steph Green has gone to the Trailblazers. Marcus Gasol to the Wizards. Al Horford to the Bulls. So I would like to say that Steph Curry now is probably a superstar in the NBA. He's a 95 overall, 22 years old. In the NBA, we pretty much have all the same players on all the same teams besides Gilbert Arenas, who now is on the Miami Heat. Timmy D again is going to win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Kevin Durant, the 6-man of this guy, and the DPOY also to Tim Duncan. He has been dominating the simulation. He's got 5 MVPs, 4 DPOYs, and only 1 title, which is kind of surprising. Steph Curry is finally going to make an All-NBA team as he's on the 3rd team, averaging 28, 6, and 6 a game. The Cavs are going to be the 8th seed yet again, this time going 39 and 43. The Raptors damn near won 60 games, which is wild. In the West, San Antonio still dominating. AI is going to lead the NBA in scoring at 30 a game, and for assists is going to be Steve Nash at 10 a game. And yet again, we lost in the very first round to the Toronto Raptors in 6 games. As the Spurs finally go on and win the NBA title, Tim Duncan, your finals MVP. They swept the Sixers in the finals. D Rose is going to get drafted first overall to the Trailblazers. Russell Westbrook has gone to the Wizards. Kevin Love to the Pacers. Brook Lopez to the Hornets. Steph Curry now is up to a 95 overall, and we are 1 year away from a 21-year-old LeBron James entering the NBA. Obviously, I'll make sure he gets drafted to the Golden State Warriors. Tim Duncan is going to go ahead and win the MVP yet again. The Rookie of the Year will go to Russ, and the DPOY is going to go to AK-47. Steph Curry again is going to make the 3rd team, averaging 28, 5, and 5. Meanwhile, the Cavs are going to be the 9 seed, missing the playoffs as they went 37 and 45. The Celtics were the 1 seed in the East, and in the West, it was actually the Golden State Warriors, who will be picking up LeBron James next season. Carmelo Anthony is going to end up leading the NBA in scoring at 28 a game. Steph Curry also averaged 28. AI was up there. Kobe, Gilbert Arenas. For assists, D Wade is actually going to average 10 a game alongside Steve Nash, who led the NBA. As the Toronto Raptors go on and win the NBA title, Chris Bosh is your finals MVP, averaging 23 and 10 as they beat the Suns in 6 games. So obviously LeBron went first overall to the Warriors. James Harden is gone to the Wizards. Blake Griffin to the Pacers. DeMar DeRozan to the Trailblazers. Ricky Rubio to the Pistons. So LeBron is going to start out on the Warriors. Of course, he's an 86 overall, already on a good team as they won 60 games last season. They were the 1 seed. Michael Red's an 88. Luol Deng, 86. Jason Richardson's also an 86, so this is a very good roster. LeBron really doesn't have a lot of time. He's 21 years old instead of being 18 when he actually came in the NBA. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, he's a 94, 24 years old. And this Cavs team really has not been great the entire video so far, but the good news for Steph is he's going to be leaving at the end of the year to go to Miami. Tim Duncan is going to win another MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to LeBron, averaging 22 a game. LeBron's also going to win the 6-man, and the DPOY again is going to go to AK-47. Steph Curry is not going to make any of the All-NBA teams. Neither is LeBron. Steph is going to end up averaging 24, 5, and 6 a game. Meanwhile, the Cavs are going to be the 7 seed, going 41 and 41. And Golden State were the 2 seed. They went 58 and 24, so a very good season by them. The Cavs, on the other hand, barely made the playoffs. So, of course, the Cavs yet again are going to lose in the very first round to the Miami Heat in 5 games. And the Warriors as well, as they lose to the New Orleans Hornets in Game 7 of round number 1. As the Spurs are going to sweep the Raptors in the finals, Tim Duncan is your finals MVP, averaging 18 and 12. PG-13 is going to go first overall to the Bobcats. Gordon Hayward has gone to the Hawks. Boogie Cousins to the Wizards. Steph Curry now is on to the next chapter in his NBA career as he joins the Miami Heat, just like LeBron did back in 2010. Of course, he'll stay here for 4 years before he heads back to Cleveland. Now, this Miami team is absolutely stacked. We got Gilbert Arenas at a 94, Steph Curry also 94, and D-Wade at a 90. Meanwhile, LeBron James is now only up to an 86 overall. He had a decent rookie season, not as good as he did in real life, even though technically he kind of did have better numbers, at least scoring-wise, but he was 21 years old. Right now in the NBA, Tim Duncan is the best player in the league, 97 overall. Kobe is up there as well. CB3 is up to a 95 on the Memphis Grizzlies. Tim Duncan will go ahead and win the MVP yet again, the Rookie of the Year to this guy. The 6th man is going to go to LeBron, so he's not even starting in the DPOI again to AK-47. Steph Curry is going to end up making the second team as he averages 36 and 6, his best season of his career so far. Nail on Miami, obviously. Meanwhile, LeBron is not going to make any of the All-NBA teams, but he would end up averaging only 22, 4, and 4, so not a great start to his career, as the Miami Heat are going to be the 1 seed in the East, going 59 and 23, and in the West, the Warriors were also the 1 seed, going 58 and 24, but of course, they're going to be without LeBron for 8 to 10 weeks, which honestly might be their entire playoff run. Steph Curry will lead the entire NBA in scoring at 30 a game. Melo was up there with 29. Dwight Howard averaged 27 and 12, and the Bulls are going to upset the Heat in 6 games in the very first round. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors have made the NBA Finals. They are up against the Indiana Pacers, who have Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love, and Elton Brand. I don't believe LeBron is back yet. No, he is still injured for the entire season, so he's not going to be back at all. Will they win it without LeBron? But I mean, let's see if the Warriors can go on and win the NBA title without LeBron James even playing a single game in the postseason. And unfortunately, the Pacers are going to dominate them in 5 games. Kyle Lowry is going to be the Finals MVP, averaging 19 and 11. Jason Kidd retired after 17 years. Jerry Stackhouse is out here, as well as Chris Webber. Kawhi Leonard is going to go first overall to the Pistons. Klay Thompson has gone to the Nets. Jimmy Butler went 3rd overall to the Hawks. Kyrie fell all the way to 5th. He's gone to the Magic. LeBron now is up to a 93 overall, 23 years old, and this team is still pretty good. I mean, they were the 1 seed last year. Meanwhile, Steph Curry's a 94 in the middle of his prime at 26. We still have D-Wade at a 90. Gilbert Arenas is injured. He's down to an 86, but he should be back up to like a 90 plus. LeBron is going to have an absolutely monster season, winning the MVP as he averages 32, 6, and 6. The Rookie of the Year will go to Kyrie, the 6th man to George Hill, and the DPOI again to AK-47. LeBron James and Steph Curry are both going to make the All-NBA first team. Steph is going to average 28, 6, and 7. Golden State is yet again going to be the 1 seed as they go 62 and 20. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat, they would go 60 and 22. So very similar records. Honestly, my dream would be these two guys meeting in the NBA Finals like they did in real life so many times. LeBron is going to lead the entire NBA in scoring at 32 a game. Steph Curry came in 2nd at 28. D Rose averaged 26. And finally, we have the matchup that we've all been waiting for in the NBA Finals. LeBron versus Steph. Golden State versus Miami. Obviously, we know who's on both teams. LeBron, I think, is tied with Steph for the best player in the series. Actually, I believe Steph is injured. He was not even starting there at point guard. And Steph Curry will be out with a broken left leg for the entire series. And the Miami Heat are still going to get it done over the Golden State Warriors in the finals, even without Steph Curry, as they beat them in 7 games. It was a very close and tight series, but Miami was the better team. Even without their best player in Steph Curry, they're still going to raise that Larry O'Brien trophy. And for the finals MVP, it's going to go to D-Wade, as Steph obviously was injured. I mean, LeBron showed up in Game 7, dropped 44, 8, and 11. For the finals, D-Wade is going to average 32 and 11, which is crazy. Shaq is finally retired after 20 years in the NBA. Ben Wallace is also out of here. He played on the Lakers for his final season. Anthony Davis is going to go first overall to the Nets. Draymond Green is gone 2nd to the Hawks. Harrison Barnes is going to the Trailblazers. Andre Drummond to the Lakers. Dame Lillard gone to the Sixers. Bradley Beal to the Pistons. LeBron James now is up to a 95 overall, just entering the prime of his career. Already made a finals, obviously lost though. Speaking of Miami, Steph Curry now is only a 93 overall, I guess because of his injury. Gilbert Arenas is still a 93. D-Wade is down at an 89, 30 years old. LeBron is going to go back-to-back, winning another MVP, this time averaging 38 and 6. The Rookie of the Year will go to Anthony Davis. The sixth man to Kyrie Irving, and the DPOY again to AK-47. I believe that's like 4 in a row for him. He's got 5 DPOYs, and I believe 5 straight. Obviously, LeBron is going to make the first team. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is not going to make any of the All-NBA teams, as he's going to end up averaging 26, 5, and 5. Surprisingly, not on an All-NBA team with those numbers. Those are pretty good numbers, as the Miami Heat are going to grab the 6th seed, going 46 and 36 in the East. Indiana was insane, winning 68 games, but in the West, the Warriors would grab the 2 seed as they went 51 and 31, and Miami got absolutely dominated in the first round in 5 games by the Toronto Raptors, and the Warriors would end up losing in the second round to the Phoenix Suns, as the Pacers again win the NBA Finals. Kyle Lowry is your Finals MVP, averaging 23 and 10 as they beat the Suns in 4 games. Giannis is going to go second overall to the New York Knicks. Victor Oladipo has gone to the Nuggets. KCP has gone to the Bulls. Otto Porter has gone to the Pistons. LeBron now is only a 93 overall after winning back-to-back MVPs. I don't know how that happens, considering he's in the prime of his career. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is also a 93, but 28 years old. Also 1 year left on his deal, but technically he's going to stay here for 2 more years. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is also a 93 overall, but 28 years old. Only 1 year left here in Miami before he heads back to Cleveland. Of course, he did win 1 ring here, but he didn't even play in the finals. CP3 is going to go ahead and win the MVP, averaging 26 and 10. The Rookie of the Year will go to Giannis, the 6th man to Kyrie, and the DPOY to LeBron James, also averaging 31, 8, and 5, as he would end up making the All-NBA first team. Steph Curry, again, is not going to make any of the All-NBA teams, which is kind of surprising, on 50, 40, 90. Yet again, he might be 50, 40, 90 for his entire career. He almost is. So the Warriors are actually going to end up missing the playoffs, grabbing the 9 seed, going 42 and 40 in the East. Miami's going to be the 5 seed as they went 57 and 25. God damn. 57 wins is a 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. That's insane. LeBron is going to lead the NBA in scoring at 31 a game. Chris Paul averaged 26, probably his career high so far. Actually, no, he averaged 29 last season. D-Rose averaged 26. KD was up there. Steph averaging 25. Kyrie 26. And the Miami Heat got dog-walked in the first round by the Washington Wizards in 5 games. And the Pacers are going to go on and win another NBA title. Kyle Lowry now is a 3-time Finals MVP, averaging 22 and 15 in the finals as they would dominate the Trailblazers in 5 games. Nikola Jokic is going to go first overall to the Sacramento Kings. Joel Embiid is gone to the Sixers, just like he did in real life. Andrew Wiggins to the Timberwolves. Aaron Gordon has gone to the Nuggets. So Steph Curry is back on the Cavs. He's a 93 overall, 29 years of age. They also have Marc Gasol and Andre Iguodala, who are an 87 and 84. Meanwhile, LeBron James is a 95 overall, 26 years old. Luol Deng is on the Warriors. Tim Duncan is going to win another MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Jokic, the 6th man to Luol Deng, and the DPOY to Derek Miller, as LeBron will make the first team, averaging 31, 8, and 6. Meanwhile, Steph, is he going to make any of the teams? He's not for like 3 years in a row. He would end up only averaging 22, 5, and 6, so maybe he's washed at 30 years old. Cavs would end up being the 5 seed, going 56 and 26. Meanwhile, the Warriors, they were the 2 seed as they went 49 and 33. Golden State would end up getting swept by the Rockets in round number 1. Meanwhile, the Cavs, they got dominated in 6 games by the Pistons, also in round 1. I mean, they each made only 1 finals. Obviously, Curry won that, but he didn't even play. So I don't know how much you can actually count that. As the Trailblazers go on and win the NBA title, D Rose is your Finals MVP, averaging 33 and 10. Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Chauncey Billups have all retired, as well as Paul took a shit Pierce. Karl Anthony Towns is going to go first overall to the Nuggets. Tingus Pingus has gone to the Kings. D-Book has gone to the Timberwolves. The Nuggets picked up D'Lo. Miles Turner's gone to the Mavs. Steph Curry is still a 93 overall, now turned 30 years old. Meanwhile, LeBron James is a much better player at this point, 96 overall, in the prime of his career. But things have not been going well for either player. For the entire NBA, Tim Duncan's still 96 overall, tied with LeBron for the best in the entire league. DeMarcus Cousins is going to win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to D'Lo, the 6th man to Luol Deng, and the DPOI again to Derek Miller, who I believe is a creative player. LeBron James is going to end up making the second team, as he only averages 24 24, 7, and 7. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, again, not on any of the All-NBA teams. Steph would average 23, 5, and 6 for the season, which is not bad, I guess, but not great either. As the Cavs would surprisingly be very good, they went 58 and 24. Meanwhile, Golden State, they would be the 7 seed, going 45 and 37. Tony Parker is going to lead the NBA in scoring at 27 a game this season, followed by Chris Paul's 25. KD averaged 27. And the Spurs are going to end up beating LeBron and the Warriors in 6 games in the very first round. And the Indiana Pacers are going to beat the Cavs in the second round, also in 6 games. As the Grizzlies are going to go on and win the NBA title, CP3 is your finals MVP. I believe that's his very first ring of his career. It is. He also has an MVP in there, as they would end up beating the Hawks in 5 games in the finals. KG, T-Mac, and Timmy D have all retired from the NBA. Ben Simmons is going to go first overall to the OKC Thunder. Brandon Ingram's gone to the Lakers, just like he did in real life. Jaylen Brown to the Pels. Jamal Pubic Hair Murray has gone to the Mavs. Sabonis to the Bucks. Steph is still going to be a 93 overall. 31 years old, at the tail end of his prime. I mean, he's probably got like 4 years left. Meanwhile, LeBron, still a 96, still in the prime of his career. Only 28, but not a lot of team success for either player, which is very concerning considering these guys are probably both top 10 players. I mean, LeBron definitely is. Some people don't think Curry's a top 10 player. I personally do. 1 finals appearance for each player, and of course, Steph Curry's team won even without him. Ever since then, they just get eliminated in either the first or second round. AD is going to go ahead and win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to DeJounte Murray. The 6th man to CJ McCollum, and the DPOI will go to Kawhi. LeBron James is going to make the first team, averaging 28, 8, and 6. Meanwhile, Steph, he's not going to make any of the All-NBA teams. I'm just going to stop looking for him, honestly, as he's going to end up averaging 21, 5, and 6, basically washed at 32 years old. The Cavs are going to miss the playoffs this season, as they would end up going 40 and 42, good enough for the 13 seed. Meanwhile, the Warriors, they would make the playoffs as the 4 seed, going 49 and 33. And finally, LeBron and the Warriors are back in the finals, this time up against the Pacers, who do have Kyle Lowry, who is a 3-time finals MVP. Kevin Love is there, as well as Blake Griffin. So overall, it should be a very tough series. And LeBron James has finally done it. He has led the Golden State Warriors to a championship, his very first in his NBA career. Obviously, he lost to the Heat a couple years ago, but now he's going to end up beating the Pacers in, I believe, 5 games in the finals. I could be wrong on that, 5 or 6 games. As there's LeBron there, he looks hella happy. My God, that face. Please let me never see that again. As for some reason, Kevin Love is going to raise the Larry O'Brien trophy. 2K, man, you guys need to fix this. And Kevin Love apparently is also going to win the finals MVP, even though he does not even play on the Warriors, but he's dabbing up everybody. Goran Dragic dropped 30 in the closeout game. LeBron had 25, 9, and 7. Still a very good game. Didn't shoot the greatest, though. There you go. LeBron is going to win his very first finals MVP, averaging 23, 10, and 6, as we would end up beating the Pacers in 5 games. Lauri Markkanen is going to go first overall to the Magic. Lonzo Ball has gone to the Thunder. Jason Tatum to the Bucks. Kuzma to the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell to the Kings. LeBron, after winning his very first ring in his career, now is up to a 98 overall. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, who has been very quiet the last like 3 or 4 years, he's a 93 at 32 years old. I mean, he only averaged 21 last season. AD is going to win the MVP again. The Rookie of the Year will go to Lonzo. The 6th man to DeJounte Murray. And the DPOY to LeBron James, averaging 30, 10, and 7. Maybe his best season of his career so far. As Steph is going to average 21, 5, and 6. So pretty much what he did last season. Golden State would only be the 8th seed, going 42 and 40. Maybe that's why LeBron didn't win the MVP. Now the Cavs, they are going to be the 5 seed, going 50 and 32. LeBron is going to lead the NBA in scoring, followed by Kyrie, who also averaged 30. CP3 was up there. AD averaged 23. KD 25. DeMar DeRozan was up there as well. And LeBron and the Warriors are going to lose in the very first round to the Denver Nuggets, as they lost in 5 games. And the Cavs would lose in the second round in 6 games to the Knicks. And the Nuggets would go on and win the NBA title. D'Lo is your finals MVP, averaging 28 and 11. Kobe has finally decided to retire after 22 years, still averaging 20 a game until his final season in the league. He's probably the all-time leading scorer from the NBA. Luka is going to go first overall to the Phoenix Suns. Trae Young has gone to the Jazz. DeAndre Ayton has gone to the Thunder. Mo Bamba to the Hawks. Michael Never Swing the Rock has gone to the Celtics. Miles Bridges to the Heat, or Mikal Bridges. So Steph now is in his final chapter of his NBA career. 92 overall, 33 years old, now on the Lakers for the remainder of the simulation. They also have Andre Drummond, who's an 88. Brandon Ingram is on the team. He's also very young. Meanwhile, LeBron James now is 30 years old, 98 overall. Nikola Jokic is going to win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Luka, only averaging 14. The sixth man to Dennis Schroeder, and the DPOI again to LeBron James, also averaging 29, 9, and 6. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is going to have somewhat of a comeback season, this time averaging 24, 5, and 6, a much better year than the prior three, I'd say, as the Lakers are going to be the 3 seed going 49 and 33, and the Warriors, they would be the 8th seed going 39 and 43. And well, the Warriors got their ass swept in the first round by the Denver Nuggets, and then Steph Curry and the Lakers got their asses swept in the second round by the Kings. And to finish it off, the Pacers are going to win the NBA title. Kyle Lowry again is your finals MVP. Take a look at this. So the Warriors got swept in the first round, Steph got swept in the second round, then the Nuggets got swept in the third round, and then the Kings got swept in the fourth round to the Indiana Pacers, the eventual champs. Zion is going to go first overall to the Bulls. RJ Barrett is gone to the Suns. Ja Wick to the Rockets. Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be going to the Timberwolves. So LeBron is still the best player in the entire NBA at a 98 overall. Curry's down to a 92, but technically there's only 2 players better than him, Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis, both at a 93. There's a big ass gap. Carmelo Anthony is still with the Denver Nuggets. D Rose is on the Trailblazers. Cat's still up there. Embiid is finally up there at a 91, as well as Jokic. Those guys are just entering their prime right now. Karl Anthony Towns is going to go on and win the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Zion. The sixth man to Markelle Fultz, and the DPOI to Joel Embiid, as LeBron again is going to make the first team, this time averaging 29, 8, and 7. And Steph Curry at 35 years old is again going to average 24, 4, and 6. Golden State would end up going 45 and 37. Meanwhile, the Lakers went 41 and 41. And the Warriors got swept in the very first round by the Denver Nuggets. The Warriors would also lose to the Nuggets, but in the second round in 5 games, as the Sacramento Kings are going to go on and win the NBA title. Jokic is your finals MVP. They beat the Pacers in 6 games in the finals. Tony Parker, Kwame Brown, Amari Stoudemire are all out of here, as well as Monte Ellis. Nick Young is gone. Too much snitching. Anthony Edwards is going to go first overall to the Magic. James Wiseman has gone to the Timberwolves. LaMelo Ball to the Spurs. Tyrese Halliburton's gone to the Trailblazers. AD is going to win another MVP. LaMelo Ball is going to win the Rookie of the Year. Wendell Carter Jr., the sixth man, and the DPOI will go to Joel Embiid again. Steph Curry has finally made an All-NBA team again. He's going to make the first team alongside LeBron, as he would average 26, 5, and 7, and LeBron, he would end up averaging 31, 8, and 6. The Lakers are going to go 44 and 38, and the Warriors are going to miss the playoffs as they were the 12th seed going 34 and 48. And the Denver Nuggets are going to beat the Lakers in 6 games in the second round, as they would go on and win the NBA title. Karl Anthony Towns is your finals MVP, averaging 28 and 17. Evan Mobley is going to go first overall to the Magic. Scotty Barnes has gone to the Raptors. Kate Cunningham to the Celtics. Josh 13 Giddey, or maybe 16 Giddey, has gone to the Magic as well. The Cum Bucket has gone to the Trailblazers. Wagner to the Timberwolves. Jalen Green fell all the way to the Warriors, 8th overall. Şengün to the Rockets. Steph Curry now is a 92 overall, 36 years old. Meanwhile, LeBron James, he is going to be a 97 overall, 33 years old. LeBron is going to end up winning the MVP, averaging 32, 7, and 7. The Rookie of the Year will go to this guy. I cannot pronounce that name. The sixth man to Wendell Carter Jr. And the DPOI will go to Giannis Antetokounmpo. LeBron James is going to make the first team. Obviously, he won the MVP, as he would end up averaging 22, 4, and 7, back to his washed ways. The Lakers are going to go 48 and 34, and the Warriors would go 45 and 37. So both the Warriors and the Lakers are going to lose in the very first round. The Warriors got dominated in 5 games, and the Lakers lost in Game 7 to the Rockets. As the Denver Nuggets are going to go on yet again and win the NBA title. Karl Anthony Towns is your finals MVP. Jabari Smith Jr. Jr. is going to go first overall to the Timberwolves, Paolo Banchero to the Trailblazers, Chet Holmgren to the Bucks, Benedict Mathurin has gone to the Kings. So we only have 2 more years left with Steph and LeBron swapped careers. Steph Curry is a 92, 37 years old. Meanwhile, LeBron James, still on the Warriors, obviously is going to be a 97 overall, 34 years old. Somehow Ben Simmons is going to go on and win the MVP, the Rookie of the Year to Paolo Banchero, the 6th man to Kemba Walker, and the DPOI again to Joel Embiid. LeBron James is going to end up making the 3rd team as he only averages 23, 7, and 7, probably the worst season of his career in a long time. Meanwhile, Steph is only going to average 24 and 6, as neither the Warriors or the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. They both missed. Golden State went 37 and 45 and LA 32 and 50. So yeah, we are definitely near the end of the simulation. The OKC Thunder are going to go on and win the NBA title. Ben Simmons is your finals MVP as they would sweep the... Actually, they bet the Knicks in 6 games, not sweep. Now we are in the final season of the simulation as we have LeBron James, still the best player in the league, 35 years old, 96 overall. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, he's only going to be a 90 overall at 38 years old. This is what the NBA looks like. Luka's in Phoenix, KD still on the Pelicans, Jokic is in Sacramento, AD on the Nets, Cat is on the Nuggets, of course. Now for the final season, Kevin Durant is going to win the MVP, the Rookie of the Year to Craig Reed, the 6th man to Colin Sexton, and Giannis will win the DPOI. LeBron is going to make the 2nd team as he averages 21, 6, and 7. Meanwhile, Curry, he's going to average 24, 4, and 6. As the Warriors will make the playoffs, they went 46 and 36. The Lakers also will make the playoffs. They went 44 and 38. Now, unfortunately for Steph and the Lakers, they lost in the play-in to the Timberwolves, and the Denver Nuggets are going to dominate the Warriors in 5 games in the very first round, as they would go on and win the NBA title. Cat, another finals MVP to his resume. I think he has like 3 or 4 at this point. He has 3 finals MVPs and 4 rings. Steph is going to finish as a 1-time champion, 17-time All-Star, only 2 times in the first team All-NBA. Over the course of his career, he did put up a lot of points for the most part, averaged 25 for a career, 25, 5, and 6. Meanwhile, LeBron James is also going to be a 1-time NBA champion and finals MVP, but he is going to win 3 MVPs, a 13-time All-Star, 10 times in the first team All-NBA, and honestly, his stats look a lot better for his career. He's going to average 28, 7, and 6. Not as good a shooting splits, but I mean, that is to be expected when you compare LeBron James to Steph Curry. Steph Curry is going to end up scoring more points than LeBron would in his career. He does have more seasons in the league, 41,000, almost past Kobe Bryant. I mean, if we kept simulating, he probably would end up doing that. LeBron's going to be 11th, 33,000 points. For triple doubles, LeBron James is going to finish 8th with 54 for 50-point games. Steph Curry is going to have 14, which would be 5th place. 40-point games, LeBron would have more at 122. Meanwhile, Steph at 79. And that's going to do it for the swap careers of LeBron James and Steph Curry. Now, obviously, a lot went differently over the course of this simulation compared to their actual careers. I mean, they each only won 1 NBA title. LeBron got 3 MVPs, but Steph literally got none. I would say both of them were not as good as they were in real life, so that's kind of disappointing. They did not have a lot of playoff success either. But regardless, let me know in the comments who had the better career. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.